Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today we're going to do a little booster box game, a new thing on the channel. We're going to open up two boxes, one of Tales of Aria and one of Modern Horizons 1 Draft Booster Box. I thought it'd be a little fun. There was a comment on my comment section that really led me to do this, and the comment was basically, I don't remember what I said, but their response to what I said was like, Louis, in Flesh and Blood, you have the opportunity to open up really expensive cards, and in Magic the Gathering you don't, and that's why I love opening up Flesh and Blood. And so I wanted to do a little game because I think there's a lot of truth to that, but I think on the other side of that there's a lot of other things to consider when opening up a box of cards. And so I wanted to compare a box of Tales of Aria to a box of Modern Horizons 2. Let me show you what we're going to do. I might be one of those fancy YouTubers that puts like the values here, or I might be one of those lazy YouTubers who doesn't. We'll see what happens. But here's the thing. The Tales of Aria box is sitting at about $116 on TCG Player, $115. This box is going to go to my friend, my patron, DK, who hooked you all up with a Crucible of War first edition opening and a bunch of first edition packs for you for my 5,000 subscriber stream, and I wanted to give back to him. And then this box of Modern Horizons that I accidentally hit with an X-Acto knife is going to be open for me because I just want to see it and do it and have some fun. So this is about $200. This is about $115. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of talk about both things. We'll do the Tales box first, and then everyone who doesn't want to watch the rest of it can just leave. But I want to talk about some things that I think are different in the way that these two companies have designed their boxes and why it matters to you as a consumer. And things like that. So let's talk about Tales of Aria as we rip open some Tales and some things that Tales has going for it, and some things that Tales, I think, and Monarch don't have going for it that we've learned now based upon what's going on with Monarch. So number one, and I've said this, I've been really made aware of this while I've been talking about the Crucible of War stuff. Mulch, that's such a good card. That is like a Command and Conquer for Guardian that like you can have a lot in. It's really good. So one of the things that Tales of Aria and Monarch I think have going against it in terms of collectible value wise is that they only support 3 heroes. Now if you compare that to something like Crucible of War, light it up, there we go, our first Majestic. Crucible of War supports 8 heroes. No, that's not even true. Crucible of War supports 8 classes, and Crucible of War supports multiple heroes within those classes. And that's why a box like Crucible of War, cold foil, Runaways. All right, so that's like a $15 card. All right. That's why a box like Crucible of War, in my opinion, has so much potential because it can affect, and different things can happen on the market with gameplay that cause the value of the box to go up. First off, let me just say this. Like, it's a good thing that Tales of Aria is low valued right now. That's a good thing. We want slow, steady upward. Ooh, Terra Sunder. Such a good card in Guardian. So, like, this is where I'm wrong. Like, that can be used in every Guardian, and that's great. We'll talk about that. Break ground. There we go. So, with Crew... we want all the cards to be accessible right now, and then Unlimited comes out, and that's when it's time for like first edition to start like showing us that it has some value. Otherwise, what's the point of doing Unlimited if first edition is just going to be worth the same price? This is one of the concerns that you've heard us bring up in the podcast, is like if Unlimited is $75 and that's what map is, and the first edition box is $110, is that a high enough difference for first edition, and should they have done something differently? And so one of the reasons I think that the Monarch boxes had a hard time gaining value, in addition to the idea of Unlimited being so close together, was simply put, like, there only supports 4 heroes. It didn't have like the generic support for other heroes. Flash Freeze, Elemental. And now long term, where this kicks in, which is really good, is that long term, something like an Elemental, you could have more Elemental cards that enter in. And that's why long term, I think you got to think that way in Flesh and Blood, not just the short term. But in the short term, the question is, will you be able to get your money back when you open up a box? That's why I do my EV videos. And that's like one of the reasons why I really wanted to do those EV videos, was to help the community understand, should I be buying singles or should I take the gamble? And one of the next issues that a box like this has, and we're gonna compare that. The point was to compare that to Magic. A box like this, it's gonna be spiky. Like we hit a runaway cold foil, and if we would have hit, a foil tear asunder. All right, that's gotta be worth something. We'll do the values. We won't be lazy. If I would have hit a majestic cold foil or whatever, the box price would have been much higher. If you had more majestics, this is why Crucible is such a good set. If you had more majestics that had an average value of like 10 to 12 bucks, then your EV doesn't get as skewed. And that's what makes it worth it. Crucible War, almost historically all time, has been worth it to open. Like the EV has been very close, if not in arbitrage. And that's what makes me so bullish on Crucible of War. Especially in the next 6 months before we get potentially any reprints at the end of the year, or I think the Q1 is what's been said. So yeah, Blink. Oh gosh, I love that card. But like if they print more lightning cards in the future, then we'll be okay. Then the boxes, you'll start seeing some additional growth because the singles. So the boxes are just really spiky, which is fun. If you're like a gambler, then that's great for you, because you're getting what you want here. You're playing with fire. You're Snow Under. Gosh, the Guardian and the, like Oldham cards and Ice cards are so flavorful in this set. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, the amount of flavor that they have thrown into this. So yeah, I don't know. You'll see. I think what you'll see here is that the consistency of a box of Tales of Aria isn't going to be there. You saw this with Monarch. Like the consistency isn't there enough to warrant opening up a single box. What you have to do is open up a case so that you always guarantee yourself hitting a legendary. And I know you're not technically guaranteed to do that when you're hitting a legendary, but that being said, Channel Mount Heroic. Look at the artwork. The set is gorgeous. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll get alternate art, rainbow foil, majestic mountains and channels in Unlimited? We got the one from first edition, but will we get more? Will we get the other two? Will we see an alternate art in Unlimited to give Unlimited some value? I think we will. That's my hot take. I think we will. Let me know. Would you like to see that? Do you want to see more value added to Unlimited or more value added to first edition? That's a question. Now that's a question I would love to hear an answer to. More value added to Unlimited or more value added to first edition? It's interesting. This is lower price than I thought that would be for the EV of a new set of Flesh and Blood. The EV I think this past week was like $100 and some bucks. Like it's just not super high. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the point is, what I didn't realize is another cold foil. Oh, it's over. We got a new horizon. Oh my gosh. Boom. There we go. DK. All right. So we're not going to at all be able to compete with Modern Horizons. Oh, that's awesome. That is so good. DK, congratulations on your new horizon pull. Woo. That's like a $200 card, I think. Woo. Look at that. Gorgeous artwork. Just so clean. You can see, is that Mount Heroic in the background? It might be. I bet you that's Mount Heroic in the background. Super cool. Oh man, congratulations. 2 cold foil box. Woo! Spiky. You see what I mean? What was the value there before? If I'm tracking it, I don't know. I might not be tracking it. Yeah, that's crazy. Weave Lightning. Awesome. Woo! I was hoping FAB beat out Modern Horizons 2, and I'm guessing that it will now. Evergreen, Flake Out. Man, okay, so that's what I'm talking about. We just hit a home run box. The best legendary, most expensive legendary in the set. If we had not hit that, what was the EV before that? That's the question. And that's where this gets into, do you like gambling? If so, this is the box for you. Monarch is the box for you. If you don't like gambling, if you like consistency and being able to make your money back and keep a couple cards that you need and then, whatever, that's where something like, oh man, look at that double cold foil box. That's where something like Crucible of War, which is a little bit closer to a Modern Horizons. Look at that stupid dummy. How do you do that, Louis? Gosh, I was just like opening the case and I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. Woo! This is going to be a lot of packs. You guys ready for this? Who's going to stick around through Modern Horizons 2? Modern Horizons 1 was one of my favorite sets of all time for Magic the Gathering. Modern Horizons 2, I know has the fetch lands, but that's all I really know. Where's the rare? All right. Riptide Laboratory and ooh, there's 2 rares? All right, there's not a foil in every pack, huh? Interesting. Oh, it's a draft box. 2 rares in a draft box? Is that what's normal? 2 rares in a draft box? Interesting. Oh, Verdant Catacombs off the back. All right, why did we get 2 rares? Is this a special rare? Interesting. Verdant Catacombs. That's a good look. That's a good look. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure why we got 2 rares. Everyone's gonna be like, Louis, you idiot. You should know this because I don't do Magic that often. Extruder. Oh, Solitude. This is a good one. Solitude's a $30 card. All right, off the bat, we now everyone's like, are we gonna? Is Magic gonna beat it even with the New Horizons? Well, that being said, it's a twice as expensive box right now. Not twice as expensive, but a little bit more. Mirari's Wake. I don't know what that one is off the top of my head. I'm cheating. I'm looking, but I can't see it. All right, Mirari's Wake. All right, there's our first foil. So you only get a foil. They didn't put a foil in every box here for draft. Oh man, I do sometimes miss playing Commander with my friends. Might get back to my Commander night. Master of Death and an Abundant Harvest. That artwork's kind of cool. I hate the foiling in Magic cards. I hate it. I absolutely hate the foiling in Magic the Gathering cards. Ever since I started looking at the foiling in Flesh and Blood cards, like just look, these are both green cards, right? Like, what do you like better? This one that's like everything's foil, or that one where like specific things foil? I like the specific things foil. The amount of work they do on their foiling is crazy in FAB. It's crazy. They care so much. I love it. All right. There's our first one of those weird cards. Ravenous Squirrel. Ooh, and a full art of Vindicate. Interesting. And a Harmonic Prodigy. Interesting. I don't know. So you can get alternate art, but the alternate arts aren't really that much more expensive. That's what drives me nuts about the alternate art. They're just so common because of the set boxes and the collector boxes. The comparison. Ooh, Marsh Flats. All right. Another fetch land. The comparison that the comment section made to me was to collector booster boxes. But the value isn't there. Like wouldn't have been fair for me to open a collector box of this. So it's just different. It's hard to find 2 things. We'll just find 2 things that I feel like opening and have some fun with it on. Turok Dread Cantor. I don't see that guy on the top 10 list here, so I don't think he's super spicy, but he's pretty cool. Human Cleric, Kicker, Protection from White. Whenever opponent discards a card, put a 1/1 counter. Is that like the Rankle hater? He hates Rankle, Master of whatever. That guy. Ooh, Bone Shards. I do like that they went to the old borders. I kind of like that. All right, Verdant Command. All right. So yeah, so Magic for me, they just like they're doing too much stuff. The wallet fatigue definitely got there. There's a balance. Like I wish Flesh and Blood had another set coming out this year. That would have been super nice. All right, Greed. Oh man, that's sweet. And another Turok. That card, like I love the old school borders. I'm guessing that's not super great though. As the store owner in me wishes that there was a little bit more product. I still think Magic's doing too much. Oh, I thought that was a foil fetch. Curse Totem, and a Nithos Paragon. The store owner in me wishes that there was more FAB product on a little bit more consistent basis. It's just so hard to keep things in stock because it's so weird as a handling the distribution stuff, counterspell, void mirror again. And so it's like weird. I wish that we had a little bit more availability for stuff and a little bit more consistency on releases. And I'm sure they're working on that. They're a new company, so they got some room to work there. Quarian Ranger, gosh, I have a elf commoner deck, elf pauper deck that I used to play. Super fun. Super fun. I have no clue what I'm doing for piles, everyone. So like, it's just hard. They did too much for me as a player. Chainer, Nightmare Adept, and a Pule the Volatile. Ooh, an Elder Dragon. That's pretty cool. As a player, they got me a little bit wallet fatigued. And they got a little greedy too. Like, I don't know, like 500. What was the collector box on this? It was like $350 or something ridiculous. That was like the MSRP without an MSRP. That's ridiculous. And then the whole like not doing draft boxes that often. Like you can never get draft boxes drives me nuts. Like I want to draft things. Like I want to play in store. I want to draft things. You can never get the boxes. Like the draft boxes are always like the more expensive than the set boxes. I don't know. It's just weird. They're just doing weird things. I don't know. But all these companies are doing weird things right now. Like it's not to say I agree with everything that Fab's doing right now either. So it's like kind of weird. Pew the Volatile. Didn't we just get the all right, so this is the difference between the old border and the new border. I love the old border. Just make everything old border again. All right, I feel like we've definitely slowed down. How many we got? 2 fetch lands. That's it. But we got that Solitude too. I don't think we're going to be able to compete with the New Horizon, everyone. I don't think there's any way. Fury, that's not going to do it. Majestic red card, I'm sure it's horrible. $11. That's not terrible. It's not great, but the consistency is what will do this. The consistent pricing. That's the a grief. Is that one any good? $9. And Radko's Headler. The consistency is what I like about a product like this. I much rather personally, and this is a personal preference, I much rather get a bunch of $10 cards with an opportunity to hit a big card, another Puru the Volatile, and an inevitable betrayal. I much rather have the opportunity to make my box price back than like spiky, but I'm not like a gambler. I know some people like the big high stakes thing. It's just not my personal preference. Moderation. It definitely makes for better content as a YouTube channel though. Like who likes watching people open a bunch of $16 boxes, $16 cards? But that's where I like I'm a big fan of the what's it called? The card that they put in there. That's what's it called? A lottery card. Like I'm a big fan of throwing in some. Oh, we got something. Mistress Fort. Where do we get? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Oh man, what is that? Oh, what a box opening. Diamond Lemon. Okay, so the regular version of this is $70. All right, we're just going to do this live. The regular version of this is $70. The full hollow version of this. Did we just beat this? Oh, I can't do this lefty. The full hollow version of this. Oh my gosh. I'm doing it lefty. Hold on. The full hollow version of this is variance rare. Sorry. Mythic. What is this called? Ragaron? Oh, it's only $80. See, that's what's crazy to me. That's only an $80 card, but the non-foil one is $60. Like, that's crazy to me. That's what Magic doesn't get that Flesh and Blood gets. That's cool, but like that's the difference for me. I don't know. These two cards, in my opinion, should be the same value, and Ragaron is too close to like the non-foil regular one. It's still cool though. Like that should be like a huge hit, but it's still a massive hit. It's still an $80 hit. That's huge. But like, see, but now here's the thing with all these other cards, is it going to balance itself out? And that's what we'll find out here. That's what we'll find out here. This was like probably the best you could possibly do in a draft box too. So it's not super fair, because like that hitting that card should really only happen in what's it called? Oh, maybe that wasn't a foil one. Maybe I'm looking up the non-foil. Thrashta Temporar's Roar. If the price was wrong when I was talking, it's because I looked up and I didn't look up the non-foil because I was worried about doing it live. I bet you that's the non-foil at $80. Oh man, what does it make the foil? Now I'm super intrigued. Brayer's Apprentice. I do love full art cards too. Like, man, I would love to see some Flesh and Blood full art cold foils. That's what I thought Rudy's card was going to be. And then it was just like non-foil. And I was like, wait, what? And like, I thought it was going to be a full, because he said no border treatment at some point. And like, I read that as like no border. It was going to be some sort of full art thing. Oh man, this is going to be fun to do the value on this. I'm going to hate editing it, but it'll be fun to do it. Yeah. Anyway, so as we get to the close here, this was the goal of this video. The goal of this video was to say, I personally prefer boxes that have a little bit more security in opening, whereas they're super spiky. And this is why I always suggest that you open up a case. If you open up a case of Flesh and Blood, you're doing pretty good. Like you'll be able to make back a good chunk of your money no matter what. The problem is that a case costs so much more, and not everybody can afford to do that. So it's kind of like a weird dynamic. Not everybody can afford to do a case, and that's why things are a little bit weird sometimes. Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. That's what makes things a little weird. Like, I always try to recommend that to people, but it's also then 4 times more expensive to get the product. And at that point, maybe, hey, should you just buy singles? I don't know. You got to make that decision for your own life. But it's an interesting little dynamic for sure that Flesh and Blood has that not every other game has. I'm not super familiar with a bunch of other like box openings and what's in other boxes. So Lioness, the Cryptozoologist. Is this a Metazoo card? We got a Metazoo card in our Modern Horizons. What we will do, which will be a lot of fun, we will do a box opening that's Metazoo versus FAB. That'll be a lot of fun. The Disc Unmarked Grave. That'll be spicy. People will hate that video and love that video. It'll be super good. All right, 22 minutes in. If you're still here, I hope you had fun. This has been interesting. It's been super interesting. I'm gonna throw the values up, and we will see what happened and which box was more successful in our little endeavor here to open some cards and to compare. So, all right, we'll do that, and we'll be right back. All right, so I've done math and added up all the cards. And in Flesh and Blood, these were the cards that were above $1. And all these cards added up together hit $269.90, with New Horizon being worth $230.20 currently on TCG Player. So if you subtract that card, the boxes cost me $115. So this was obviously a much better deal. You'll see, let's just go on in. So then for the Magic the Gathering, I've used TCG Player, and I hit $281 in cards, with Rega Van Nimble being $165. So I was definitely wrong when I said it was $80. So the difference here is if I remove the $160 card, I still have $116 of value. And this is the difference. This is what you get with Flesh and Blood. If you go with Flesh and Blood, you're doing more spiky and the chance. Without the New Horizon, we are losing over 50% of our value. We're losing almost 65% of our value compared to Magic the Gathering. We're losing like 35% of our value. So that's where things are different. I would love to see if Flesh and Blood wants to go the extra mile. I would love to see things like Terra Sunder added, more things like that added. Like Terra Sunder really helped this, honestly. Terra Sunder were both the most expensive cards that were not actually. Terra Sunder foil was at the same price as the cold foil here, So it's super interesting because this is used in Guardian and not just the the 3 heroes that are in this set. It adds a ton of value. So I'd love to see some more additional value added in Flesh and Blood to some of those other heroes. All these were under $2. So if we hadn't hit a Terra Sunder, we'd be sitting at like $10, $20 of value, and that would have been much less. So by adding some value in the other heroes, you're adding a lot to the box opening experience, and that's what Magic has done, and I like that. It's kind of like, I personally like that. I know some other people might not, but like even without this, which was super fun to hit, even without this, there was some additional value because it supports all 5 colors, right? Like that's kind of the way that their packs are set up. Now I still would have lost money. That's an important note to mention. I still would have lost money because singles are certainly the best way to buy cards. That's something that is the way that they are. The difference though in Flesh and Blood, and what makes it hard, is that certain singles are so much more expensive. Like a New Horizon is so much more expensive, and this is why if you are able to open up a case, get a legendary, and then trade the legendary that you want. So that's my advice to you. Hope this was fun. Let me know in the comment section. I did not end up editing it all because it's just a lot of work, and I have 2 babies and a life that I need to get back to. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll talk to you again later.